Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Saints are coming off their bye, and man, we were really hoping that with players who started the season on PUP, which means you got to miss the first 6 weeks and then you're eligible to return. This is the first game that the players who started the season on PUP are eligible to play. And that means Michael Thomas. He would be eligible to play against Seattle. Now, Ian Rapoport of the NFL Network and NFL media gave some what seems to be unfortunate news about Thomas.
Star receiver for the Saints, Michael Thomas, has been battling that lower leg injury, kind of ankle injury, since he had surgery in the spring. I'm told he's still expected to be a couple weeks away. So that really quick infusion of offense for the New Orleans Saints doesn't sound like it's coming this week or next week.
So, unlikely this week or next week, which would mean that Michael Thomas would miss this week's game against Seattle and next week's game on Halloween against Tampa, which means he would return in November against Atlanta. Again, all of that is speculative at this point. It's not done. We'll see how he might be able to progress over these next couple of weeks. It is worth mentioning, though, that they are expecting to see Thomas in some form back out at practice. He's got a 21-day once you designate a player to return from IR, he's got a 21-day window to be activated. So now Thomas has not been designated to return yet, but once he is, he'd have 21 days to get back on the active roster and to play. So we will certainly keep an eye on that. This, for very obvious reasons, we're paying close attention to Michael Thomas because the Saints at this point are a team that has been in large part completely lacking in the passing game. I'm not telling you something you don't know, but just to reiterate, the Saints are 3-2 right now, despite the fact that they are one of the worst teams in the NFL at throwing the football. Now, if you just to jog your memory, a couple of weeks ago, we went through Drew Brees year one in 2006 compared to Jameis Winston. Again, Brees year one with Peyton, Jameis Winston. And it was really about this part of the season, week 6, where Sean Payton sort of took the handcuffs off, and you saw Drew Brees and that team just catapult offensively. The Saints right now are second to last in the NFL in passing offense. The Bears are the worst at 117 pass yards a game. The Saints are at 169 a game. Only the Bears are worse than the New Orleans Saints at throwing the football. Yet, the Saints are 3-2 on the season, and they're a blown lead, an 11-point lead with 8 minutes to go at home against the Giants, from being 4-1 right now, which is just remarkable when you think of it. But we have seen over the last 2 weeks, Jameis start to open up that offense a little bit. And that is the encouraging thing for the passing game. After throwing for 148 against Green Bay, 111 in that awful game against Carolina, 128 against New England. The last 2 games, 17 of 23 for 226 against the Giants, and then 15 of 30. I know the completion percentage wasn't there, but 30 attempts for 279, 4 touchdowns in the pick, and the pick gets stepped on by Andrews Pete. So you can tell Sean Payton realizes he's got to start to open up that pass game, and he's letting him. Now, Tre'Quan Smith is another player that we could very well see play this week for New Orleans. And if you have Tre'Quan, you know my feeling on this. I am not going to sell you on Tre'Quan Smith being an integral part of this offense. But if you're looking for warm bodies that have actually caught passes in NFL games before, he's one of them. So if you give me that guy with his speed and his size and all that stuff, he is another option on the field that the Saints need right now. So if you get Mike Thomas back, you get Tre'Quan Smith back, you can start to see where this offense will become more balanced, and they'll be much better in the passing game when you have your all-pro wide receiver out there. It just looks like you're probably not going to have him now for at least the next couple of weeks. I do think, and even in spite of that, remember, even in spite of that, the Saints are still a 5-point road favorite in Seattle. They caught a massive break with Russell Wilson's injury. The Saints are going to face Geno Smith and not Russell Wilson. It's still a very difficult place to play. The Seattle defense hasn't been stellar, but with no Russell Wilson, it doesn't scare you as much going to Seattle as it would if you were playing. So the Saints can snag this game in Seattle. Obviously, it'll be very difficult against Tampa Bay, and then you should have a layup against Atlanta, albeit a divisional game, and I understand why those are tricky. At that point, you should have Michael Thomas back, and at that point, you should have everybody back. Then you make your run through November and December. It's so interesting because throughout Sean Payton's time in New Orleans, October has been where they made their hay. I mean, that loss to the Giants was the first October loss in 3 years, whatever it was. November may actually be this team's parabolic rise once they get everybody back. But it looks like it's going to be a couple more weeks for Michael Thomas, unfortunately. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.